चलिए guys, ठीक है. Income from other sources. Okay. Now this chapter contains total 4 section. Okay. Section number 56 to 59. So this is the chapter which deals with other sources. It means, sir, हम लोगों ने अभी तक क्या सीखा है? We have already learned that income, let's say from the salary, income from the house property that we have, income from the business that we have, as well as income from the capital gain. It means when we transfer or sell any capital asset, then the taxability of such capital asset comes under the chapter capital gain. That's what we have learned in the income from other sources chapter. Sorry, income from capital gain chapter. Now this chapter is totally different. See, at the very beginning, when we are discussing the basic concept chapter, we are very much clear on that part. Okay, sir, in the basic concept chapter, we have mainly 5 heads of income: salary, HP, PGBP, capital gain, other sources. So, sir, first 4 points में जो भी नहीं आएंगे, with respect to the first 4 points, okay, जो भी नहीं आएंगे वो सारे कहाँ पे आएंगे सर? इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर में. All the incomes except those 4 income: salary, house property, capital gain, and business. With respect to other income, other than those income that we have already discussed, all comes under other sources. Sir, एक example बता देंगे? We have not discussed anything regarding savings bank deposit interest that we are going to receive at every quarter end from the bank. We are not discussing about the interest received from the bank with respect to the fixed deposit. We are not discussing about the RD, recurring deposit interest, that we are going to receive every yearly, or the with respect to the time period of at the date of the maturity. We have not discussed about the dividend income from the Indian company or any foreign company. We have not discussed any income regarding rental income from the machineries. Let's say you have any asset and if given on rent, so we have not discussed about this. We have not discussed anything about the dividend income. Winning from lotteries income. We have not discussed anything. What about the taxability of the gift? So these are comes under where? Sir, these are not discussed in the other 4 heads. So these are totally comes under this particular head is called income from other sources. कहाँ पे आएगा sir? Income from other sources. ये all are comes under the income from other sources. These are all comes under the income from other sources. So this is what the chapter that is we are looking for actually. Okay. So in this case, what we need mean to say? Number one, sir. In case of the other sources, चलिए एक बार देखते क्या क्या सीखेंगे. सबसे पहले with respect to this section, with respect to this chapter, we have total 4 section. Okay, we have total 4 section. You can please write. We are going to learn from section 56 to section 59. Okay, section 56 to section 59. That is what the chapter section we are going to deal with. Okay. So under this particular heads of income, the 3 section deals with the income from other sources. Income from other sources. Okay. Now the first section always we know that. Sir, ये तो सबसे पहले important है. The first section always we discuss about the chargeability. हम लोगों ने क्या सीखा था? Whenever we are discussing about any particular chapter of the taxation, always we are discussing the first chapter, first section is called chargeability. Chargeability means how to tax this particular income, how to tax the particular income, how to charge tax on this particular income. So the first section that comes in this is the basis of charge. You can write here basis of charge, and it is comes under section 56. It is comes under section 56. Okay, so section 56 says, sir, income from other sources is the last and residual heads of income as per subsection 1 or section 56 covers any income which doesn't fall under any other heads of income. So section 56 subsection 1 says, I am repeating again, section 56 subsection 1 says, okay, the income which doesn't fall with respect to any other income that we have already discussed is comes under this particular heads of income. Okay, however, subsection 2 of section 56 specifies 9 income which are always taxable under the heads income from other sources. So, section 56, subsection 2 says that we have different 9 incomes. We have different 9 incomes which will be taxable under the income from other sources. That is what the fundamental here, okay? That we are going to discuss here. ठीक है, चलिए अब क्या है इसका डिस्कस कर लेते हैं एक बार, ओके? देखिए व्हाट आर द टोटल 9 इनकम दैट विल बी डिस्कस हियर, ओके? मैंने क्या बोला था सबसे पहले 9, यहाँ पे कुछ एक्स्ट्रा है, कोई बात नहीं, वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस। सबसे पहले एक एक करके डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे, हाँ, ओके? विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द इनकम्स वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस फ्रॉम हियर। देखिए एक एक करके इनकम्स को एक बार देखिए। सबसे पहले डिविडेंड इनकम है, करेक्ट? द फर्स्ट थिंग इज द डिविडेंड इनकम। सर डिविडेंड इनकम तो पता है, डिविडेंड इनकम इज द डिविडेंड as defined under section 2 subsection 22, under section 2 subsection 22, okay? So dividend income, it may be from Indian company or it may be the foreign company. Casual income, sir, very broader sense. Casual income is nothing but the income which will be arises from casual work or casual way. आप लोग सपोज करो आप लोगों ने लॉटरी के दुकान पे गए, you guys went to the shop of a lottery and purchased a ticket of lottery for rupees 2 rupees or 6 rupees or 10 rupees, and what happened with respect to the buying of the lottery, you guys get a lottery of 1 CR, you guys get a lottery of 1 CR, आपका तो लग गया सर आपका तो हो गया, you guys receive a lottery of 1 CR. So सर ये कहां पे देखोगे, इसमें तो कोई काम आपने नहीं किया सर, you doesn't work any single day to earn this 1 crore of income, just you invest some money through which you can earn the income. आपने तो 1 रुपया भी खर्चा मतलब मतलब एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट भी नहीं दिए हो, जस्ट यू इन्वेस्ट द मनी. सो इसमें क्या हो सकता है सर, व्हाट विल बी द हैपनिंग सर, लॉटरीज इनकम, क्रॉसवर्ड पजल, रेसेस इंक्लूडिंग हॉर्स रेसेस, कार्ड गेम्स, अदर गेम्स, ड्रीम 11 लिख लो, जितना ही लिख लो, ड्रीम 11, माई 11 सर्कल, गैम्बलिंग, बेटिंग, ऑल कम्स अंडर कैजुअल इनकम. हो गया सर, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके? नाउ नेक्स्ट इज दैट एम्प्लॉइज कंट्रीब्यूशन towards staff welfare scheme. Okay, employees contribution towards a staff welfare scheme. क्या बोला अभी मैंने, employees contribution towards a staff welfare scheme. So when देखो यहाँ पे लिखा है, okay, यहाँ पे लिखा है the following income if not chargeable under the heads profit and gains from business, then any sum received by an employer from his employee as a contribution towards the provident fund or welfare of the employee. So अगर if you have the any income with respect to the employees, okay, आपने employee से पैसा लिया है, just guys remember, okay, just it's very important, any sum received by the assessee from his employees as a contribution to any staff welfare scheme is taxable in the hands of the employer. बहुत सिंपल है, अगर मान के चलो दीपिका you are working under the ITC and ITC deducted some amount from your salary, so it goes to the company. ITC deducted 200 rupees from your salary every month, okay, due to welfare scheme of the employees. So these 200 rupees is gone towards the employer and it will be taxable in the hands of the employer because employer is receiving the money. You are not going to get the benefit until there is something happening. But this amount that is what deducted from your salary is to be gone to the employer. So it will be taxable in the hands of the employer. Okay. Next is the interest on securities. बहुत simple है sir. If you receive any interest on debenture, okay, interest on debenture or any government bonds or any normal bonds will be taxable under the head income from other sources. You need to remember guys, important very, interest on debenture, any interest on debenture or any government bond is taxable under the head income from other sources. If it is not taxable under PGBP, if it is not taxable under PGBP, लेकिन आप सोचो, if your business is to purchase debenture, sell debenture, purchase debenture, sell debenture, then it will be the business income. If you have the only motto to purchase the debenture, when the purchase price is gone up, when the debenture price will gone up, then you are going to sell it. So it is your business of purchase and sell of the debentures. Got it? and any interest you receive from those debentures will be treated as a business income, not a other sources income. Perfect. So these are comes under the other sources. Income from letting out on hire of machinery, plant or furniture is a rental income from hiring of the machinery, plant or furniture. While letting out of building is inseparable from the letting out of machinery, plant or furniture, the income from such letting. So when suppose आपका एक building है, you have one building, and when you rental the building, it will become income from house property. Remember guys, when you rental your building, it will be comes under the income from HP. But when there is some machinery which cannot be separate from the building, let's say there is an X-ray machine, it's very difficult to unattached or unattach the X-ray machine from the building. So that is why you tell the tenant that you can use the X-ray machine, for which you are charging some money from them. So the whatever the income you are earning based on the rental of the machinery also within the building is also comes under the income from other sources. Very important. Guys, any sum received under the Keyman insurance policy, including bonus on such policy, if not chargeable to tax under that salary also. So guys, if suppose Deepika, you are the main employee, one of the main employee, okay, in the ITC, you are receiving a salary of 6 year. You are receiving a salary of 6 year. So आपको अगर 6 year का salary मिल रहा है, just you think one important point here. If you guys are receiving a salary of 6 year, so क्या होगा इसमें? If you guys are receiving a salary of 6 year, so what happened in this case? You become the key man of that particular company. So with respect to any suppose your ITC has made a insurance policy in your name with any company, because you are the key man to the company, so that's why key man insurance policy taken, and the maturity comes and the company will mature the policy, and the company and mature the policy. So in this case what happened, if company mature the policy, then it will be the income for the company, because the policy will only be matured when the maturity date will come, and the maturity date comes and the policy mature. That's why it's become an income from, that is why it is become an income from the other source. If it is not taxable under the head salary, okay, you need to just remember this. If it is not taxable under the head salary, then it will be taxable under the head income from other sources. Clear है सर एकदम? ओके, अच्छा अब ऊपर चलते, बहुत सारे और भी बाकी है. चलिए, इन कंसिडरेशन रिसीव इन एक्सेस ऑफ फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ शेयर्स ऑफ ए क्लोजली हेल्ड कंपनी versus shares are issued at a premium. So suppose any consideration you receive in excess of the fair market value of shares of a closely held company versus shares are issued at a premium, will you can say that it's an income from other sources, because any excess income received in excess of the fair market value, up to fair market value, you guys all know that up to the fair market value it will be chargeable under that capital gain, but more than fair market value it will be chargeable under that other sources. Remember this, any amount in excess of the FMB will be chargeable under that other sources, and up to FMB will be chargeable under that capital gain. Okay, it will be calculated based on the capital gain. ठीक है, हम लोगों ने ये करके आए. ओके गाइस, क्लियर है? चलो अब आगे बढ़ते. अब क्या है, इंटरेस्ट रिसीव ऑन कंपेंसेशन इनहेंस. आप लोगों को याद है गाइस, हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था सेक्शन 45. ओके, हम लोगों ने सेक्शन 45 में डिस्कशन किया था कि व्हेन यू गाइस आर रिसीविंग एनी एनहांस कंपेंसेशन, when you guys are receiving any enhanced compensation or initial compensation and any interest paid by the government to the assessee with respect to such compensation, then it will be chargeable under the head income from other sources as per section 56(2)(8). We have already discussed this under section 56(2)(8). So interest received on compensation, enhanced compensation deemed to be income in the year received of section 56(2)(7). Okay. अच्छा गाइस, ये तो आप लोगों को याद है, एडवांस फॉरफिटेड ड्यू टू फेलियर ऑफ नेगोशिएशन फॉर ट्रांसफर ऑफ कैपिटल, याद है ना? ये तो हम लोग कल ही पढ़े थे, याद है? हम लोग ये कल ही डिस्कस किए थे, याद आ रहा है सोनल? We have just discussed this yesterday. Any advance money received on or after 14/15 will be taxable under the other sources under section 56(2)(9). याद आ रहा है? देखिए यहाँ पे लिखा है, देखिए ये प्रोविजन, देखिए याद आ रहा है, देखिए एडवांस मनी फॉरफिटेड बाय एसएससी एज पर सेक्शन 51 on or after 14/15 taxable in the year of forfeited under other sources section 56(2)(9). So these we already discussed in the yesterday. So guys, when you are going to forfeit any money that you have received in terms of selling of capital asset, when you are going to sell any capital asset and you receive any advance money, later the contract was cancelled and the advance money was forfeited by the seller, then the money forfeited by the seller become the income from other sources, provided the advance money you receive on or after 14/15, on or after 14/15, then it will be chargeable under the head other sources. एकदम क्लियर है सर, पक्का, एकदम क्लियर, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं इसमें, ठीक है। अच्छा नेक्स्ट, सम ऑफ मनी property received by a person, section 56(2)(10). Okay, sum of money or property received by any person. So any person receiving any money or any property which is not taxable under the any other four heads that we have discussed will be taxable under the head 56(2)(10). Okay, under the other sources. Any compensation or the other payment due to received by any person in connection with termination of his employment or the modification of the terms and conditions included to taxable under the 56(2)(11). Guys, ये बहुत easy है, देखिए, suppose a person has been terminated from the employment. Suppose a person was terminated from an employment, okay, from his employment due to certain reason. So when he receives some money due to termination from the employment, then it will be taxable under the head other sources. Clear guys? When you are going to receive any money due to the termination from the employment, then it will be taxable under the head other sources. एकदम clear है सर, पक्का। अच्छा नेक्स्ट, sum received including the amount allocated by way of bonus under a LIP other than under a ULIP and Keyman insurance policy which is not exempted under section 1010D, section 56 to 12. So any sum received including the amount allocated by way of bonus under a LIP other than under a ULIP and Keyman insurance policy which is not exempt under section 1010D. So if any income is not exempted under section 1010D, section 56 to 10, 12, then it will be taxable under that other sources. Clear? Now the following income, if not chargeable under the head profit and gains of business profession, the following income, if not chargeable under the head profits and gains of business and profession, ये हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं ऑलरेडी। क्लियर है गाइस? आप थोड़ा लेट डाउन करते आते हैं यहाँ पे। Any income chargeable to tax under the act but not falling under any other heads of income. I am repeating again. Any income chargeable to tax under the act but not falling under any other heads of income. अगर कोई other heads of income में नहीं है तो ये chargeable होगा under this particular act. Deemed income under section 59, remission or cessation of a trading liability or receipt or any amount in respect of loss or expenditure allowed as deduction in the earlier previous year. So guys, if you have any, suppose you have earned some income, okay, you have earned some income and with respect to the remission or cessation of a trading liability or receipt of any amount in respect of loss or expenditure allowed as deduction in an earlier previous year. Perfect? Yeah? So when you are going to receive any money in terms of any loss or any expenditure allowed earlier, it will be taxable in this particular year. अगर कोई भी एक्सपेंडिचर का बेनिफिट आपको पहले मिला था and with respect to the loss, then you have to understand that earlier you get the deduction under the head, but here as you receive the money or recover the money it will be taxable. आप लोग सोचो ना, suppose आपका कुछ लॉस हुआ था बैड डेट से, suppose there is a loss under the bad debt and if you have recovered the bad debt amount, then it will be taxable under that other sources here, like that. Okay, but bad debt recovery will be taxable under that PGP. Remember this, हाँ, bad debt recovery यहाँ पे taxable नहीं होता, वो PGP में taxable होता है, ठीक है। अच्छा, डिडक्शन अलाउएबल सेक्शन 57, ये फैमिली एक्सपेंडिचर है, डिडक्शन अलाउएबल अंडर 57, ये कुछ फैमिली एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं है, सॉरी, कुछ अलग एक्सपेंडिचर्स है जो हम लोग अभी गो थ्रू करेंगे, ये सेक्शन 57 है। ओके, कुछ एक्सपेंडिचर एक्स्ट्रा है जो हम लोग अभी गो थ्रू करेंगे। सेक्शन 57, सेक्शन 57 में क्या क्या है देखिए। In section 57 we are going to get certain benefit in terms of the certain deduction. देखिए क्या क्या है। In case of dividend or income in respect of unit of a mutual fund or income in respect of unit from a specified company, interest expenditure allowable as deduction subject to a maximum 20% of such income, including the total year without deduction under this section. For that year without deduction under this section. So क्या है guys? Any interest income if you receive and you made any expenditure, if you have earning any dividend income or any income in respect of a mutual fund or income in respect of a unit from a specified company. Any expenditure you spend with respect to earning such income will be allowable as a maximum 20% of such income. So अगर आपने कोई भी खर्चा किया है तो guys you need to remember that you are going to get a 20% benefit of that. Okay, only 20%. Okay, only 20% expenditure will be allowed with respect to this only. In case of interest on securities, any brokerage or commission you paid will be allowable as deduction. Any interest on securities, if you earned any interest on securities with respect to this, any reasonable sum paid by way of commission or remuneration to a banker or any other person, so you are going to get the benefit in terms of any brokerage or commission you paid. Okay, now income consists of recovery from employee as contribution to any PF superannuation fund. So इसमें क्या होगा देखिए एक बार गाइस, इसमें साफ साफ लिखा है कि amount of contribution remitted before the due date under the respective acts in accordance with the provision of section 36(1)(5)(a). So income consists of recovery from employees as contribution to any provident fund, superannuation fund, etc. So income consists of recovery. So if you recover any money from the employee in terms of contribution to PF and superannuation fund, then also it will be allowable as per the section 57. Okay, it will be allowable and as per the section 57. Okay, that is what a very easy. Now next, income from letting out on hire or machinery, plant and furniture with or without building. Guys, आप लोग समझ के रखना कि building, whenever you are going to let out any building, it will be taxable under that PGBP. I am repeating again. When you are going to give any building on rental, the income arising from the such building will be taxable under that PGBP. But sorry, other sources. Sorry guys, sorry, extremely sorry. Other sources. But remember, when any income arising from letting on hire of machinery, along with the building or without the building, then it will be taxable under the head. Then it will be allowable as an expenditure. Okay, with respect to any expenditure you made for the letting on or hire of machinery. Suppose you paid insurance premium for such machinery. Suppose you have some depreciation on the machinery. Suppose you have repair on this particular machine, so it will be allowable as a deduction, because those expenditure which are incurred for letting out on machineries or plant or furniture, it will be allowable as a deduction under section 57. Family pension, sir, is very easy. Family pension, in case of the income in the nature of family pension, hota hai na, basically some person are receiving family pension whose like whose family member are working in a government company or any let's say suppose any government or any border security force or any government related organization, then they are receiving family pension instead. Okay, in this case a standard deduction of 1/3 of the amount received or 15,000, whichever is lower. So in this case, whenever you receive any family pension, so the amount received less deduction under section 57, 1/3 of such income or 15,000, whichever is lower. That is what the deduction allowable under section 57 with respect to the family pension. Interest on compensation, enhanced compensation. आप लोगों को मैंने पहले बोला था, whatever the interest you are going to earn, government will give you direct 50% deduction. Government will give you direct 50% deduction. There is a flat deduction available in terms of the expenditure under section 57. Okay, any other expenditure not in the nature of capital expenditure incurred wholly and exclusively for earning such income. अगर आपने, if you have expended any income, if you have expended income, okay, not in the nature of capital expenditure incurred wholly for the purpose of earning such income, will be eligible for the deduction under section 57. Okay, acha, deduction not allowable. So it's a very important provision. What are the deduction not available under section under income from other sources? Okay, so section 58 says which income are not allowable. Okay, guys, number one, personal expense of the assessee. Any personal expense of the assessee, interest and salary paid outside India on which tax is not deducted as source. Any interest or salary paid outside India on which tax has not been paid or deducted as source. Okay. Income tax and wealth tax. Income tax, any income tax paid or wealth tax paid. Any expenditure or allowances in respect of winning from lotteries and crossword puzzle. Okay. Any income. Okay. Any income, आप लोग याद रखना है, any expenditure in respect of winning from lotteries or crossword puzzle will be not allowable. Okay, देखिए क्या लिखा है, 30% of the sum payable. अच्छा ये तो नहीं है, यहाँ पे कहाँ पे लिखा है, अच्छा यहाँ पे लिखा नहीं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, जस्ट आप सुन लीजिए. विनिंग फ्रॉम लॉटरीज and horse races, any expenditure income from winning from lottery horse races is not allowed. Okay, 30% of the sum payable to a resident on which tax is deductible at source, if such tax has not been deducted or after deduction has not been paid on the on or before the due date. So guys, ये बहुत important है. Deduction not allowed. Okay, 30% of sum payable to a resident on which tax is deducted at source. Suppose if you want to pay an amount to a resident on which TDS should have to be deducted, you have made payment to a resident on which TDS should have to be deducted. If such tax has not been deducted or after deduction has not been paid on or before the due date of return specified in section 139(1), then 30% of the sum payable will be disallowed. Then 30% of the sum payable to that particular resident will be disallowed if you have not deducted the TDS. If you have not deducted the TDS. Clear? Acha. Any expenditure in respect of which a payment is made to a related person to the extent the same is considered excessive or unreasonable by the AO having regard to FMP. Suppose हम लोगों ने PG में पढ़ा था ना, याद है ना? We have already discussed in PGP that any excess payment to the relative will be disallowed. Any excess payment to the relative will be disallowed over and above the FMP. The same thing as here also. Any expenditure in respect to which a payment is made to related party. वहां पे हम लोग पढ़े थे any payment. यहाँ पे that is nothing but the any expenditure in respect to which a payment made to the related person. Then any excess payment, okay, any excess payment with respect to any expenditure to a related party, okay, then it will be disallowed by the assessing officer and it will be chargeable. So suppose आपको मैं example देता हूँ. Suppose you guys paid 60,000 to your related party, on which you have to pay actually 20,000. Sorry, 40,000. So 20,000 extra payment is made, and to make such 20,000 payment, you have incurred certain expenditure of rupees, let's say 2,000. So those 2,000 will be chargeable. No, those 2,000 will be not allowable as deduction because the 2,000 rupees you paid as an expenditure or you incurred as an expenditure is related to that expenditure for which you have made the extra payment to the related party. Whatever the extra payment you made to the related party of rupees 20,000 for which such 2,000 rupees has been made an expenditure which was not allowed in the other sources, which was not allowed on the other sources. Okay. Achha, any expenditure in respect of which a payment or aggregate payment exceeding 10,000 is made to a person in a day. So ये provision हम लोग पढ़ चुके already. So any excess payment, okay, any excess payment exceeding 10,000 is made to a person in a day otherwise than by account pay check or bank draft or ECS through bank account or through such other prescribed electronic mode such as credit card, debit card, net banking, IMPS, UPI, RTS, NEFT and Bhim Other Pay. So guys, remember, any expenditure you made with respect to the aggregate payment of which exceeding 10,000 other than this online mode, banking mode के अलावा with respect other than the banking mode, if you pay any person more than 10,000 for which you made some expenditure, then the expenditure will be disallowed. Then such expenditure will be disallowed, sir. ये तो clear हो गया. Then sir expenditure will be sir disallowed. ये एकदम clear है sir. Now comes okay, tax on income from other sources. क्या क्या है यहाँ पे वो एक बार देख लेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग जाएंगे. ठीक है, अभी हम लोग पूरा बेसिक फंडामेंटल में फोकस कर रहे हैं. एक बार पूरा चैप्टर को समझ लेते हैं, क्या क्या आता है, कौन सा डीजल, एवरीथिंग. देन वी आर डायरेक्टली मूव इनटू द चैप्टर. ओके, सी टैक्स ऑन इनकम फ्रॉम अदर सोर्सेज. आप लोगों को पता है गाइस, आप लोग लॉटरी खेलो, क्रॉसवर्ड पजल खेलो, ड्रीम 11 खेलो, माई 11 सर्किल खेलो, एवरीथिंग यू हैव टू पे 30% टैक्स इफ यू अर्न सम इनकम. सपोज एक बंदा ड्रीम 11 से 1 करोड़ रुपीस हैज अर्न, ओके, बाय प्लेइंग थ्रू आईपीएल. So then 30% tax will be deducted. Then 30% tax will be deducted from there. Then 30% tax will be deducted from there. Okay. So winning from lotteries, crossword puzzle, races, including horse races, card games and other games, gambling, betting, etc. Other than winning from any online game. Okay. Other than winning from any online game. Unexplained cash credit, investment, money, bullion, jewelry, etc. etc. सो नेट विनिंग फ्रॉम ऑनलाइन गेम्स, अदर इनकम. सो ये सारे जो है ना इनकम, वो सारे कहां पे टैक्सेबल होंगे, अदर सोर्सेज में. सो व्हाट एवर द इनकम यू आर गोइंग टू मेक विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस पर्टिकुलर टैक्सेबल अंडर अदर इनकम. तो देखिए हमें कौन सा सेक्शन एप्लीकेबल है, दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. सो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लॉटरी, क्रॉसवर्ड पजल गेम, सेक्शन 115 डबल बी, with respect to unexplained cash trade or investment. Unexplained का मतलब समझते हैं आप? Unexplained means suppose you made cash investment in any company and you have not tell them in the return. You have not declared them in the return. Suppose you have not declared them in the return, then it will be an unexplained investment. Unexplained investment means an investment in which you have not explained anything in this particular return of income. Okay, money, bullion, jewelry, etc. expenditure. So here 115 double BE, and any income from online game will be taxable under that 115 BBJ. So ये प्रोविजन आपको याद रखनी है, ठीक है. अच्छा, टैक्स ऑन अदर टैक्स रेट कितना दिखे विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस इनकम. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन है, मैं बार बार आप लोगों को बोल रहा हूँ. दीज प्रोविजंस आर मोर इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज इनकम ऑफ अदर सोर्स इज वेरी इजी, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द टैक्स रेट. फ्लैट मैंने आपको बोला था विनिंग फ्रॉम लॉटरी, क्रॉसवर्ड पजल, रेसेस इंक्लूडिंग हॉर्स रेसेस, कार्ड गेम अदर देन ऑनलाइन गेम लाइक ड्रीम 11. ओके, ऑनलाइन गेम्स आर ड्रीम 11. तो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस यू आर गोइंग टू गेट ड्रीम 11. अब बोल सकते हो कि ऑनलाइन गेम नहीं है, वो एक्चुअली गेम नहीं है, एक्चुअली आपका बेटिंग है. ड्रीम 11 लाइक अ बेटिंग. ओके, ऑनलाइन गेम जो होता है ना, पबजी नाम सुने हो आप लोग? पबजी का नाम सुने हो सोनल? हैव यू गाइस एवर हर्ड पबजी? एनीवन?
यस सर.
सो पबजी होता है ऑनलाइन गेम. सो ऑनलाइन गेम में 115 बीबीजे लगेगा. ओके, और इसका टैक्स भी 30% है. इसका टैक्स भी 30% उसके ऊपर सेस है. लेकिन ये जो अनएक्सप्लेन इन्वेस्टमेंट है ना, मतलब यू आर अर्निंग सम इनकम with respect to which you have not declared in the return of income. आपने इनकम टैक्स को छुपा के कुछ इनकम अर्न किया है जो आपने बोला ही नहीं है. These are unexplained income. आप लोग पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को देखते हो, those political parties are earning crores of rupees from the builder contractor. While a contractor build a house or building, then they are argued to get a 10 lakh 5 lakh rupees based on the market area, based on the building size. They are earning the cash income. These are unexplained income. And if this income comes out in the picture, then 60% tax will be applicable plus surcharge. मतलब पूरा खा लेगा. It means whole of your income will be consumed by government. Whole of your income will be consumed because you have hide the income, you have suppressed the income. If you disclose it, then you have to pay normal income, normal tax, sorry. But as you have disclosed all those not disclosed all those things, it is unexplained, then you have to pay 60% of such income plus surcharge of the 25% of the tax plus sales. आप समझ रहे हो कितना प्रॉब्लम है? आप लोगों ने कितना जन रेड मूवी देखे अजय देवगन का? In Red movie, all the income that has been hidden in the bathroom, kitchen, ceiling, falls, terrace, etc., that all are taxable at the rate 60%. And as a final tax, it will be taxable at the 78%. मतलब 100 में 78 गवर्नमेंट लेके चल जाएगा. सिर्फ 78 नहीं है, 78 के ऊपर 4% भी लगेंगे. On 78%, sales of 4% will be applicable. Then almost 80% income will vanish by the government. Only 20% income will be lied with you if you unexplained money. And also there is an imprisonment clause has been there. जेल भी हो सकता है guys, imprisonment. So these are all the provision with respect to the tax rate. And guys, other sources का income जो होता है ना, other income, ये normal rate of tax होता है. तो guys आपको में ये provision why we made and going through, because other sources में ये सारे incomes आते हैं guys. Okay, other sources में सारे incomes आते हैं, लेकिन इनका tax calculation अलग है. We have to understand these incomes are comes under the other sources, we understand, and also comes under the calculation of total income, but all these income are chargeable to tax at a separate rate. Always remember guys, any casual income should be taxable at the 30% plus sales, and any unexplained income, any benami income, benami means जिसका कोई नाम नहीं है, name नहीं है. Okay, any benami income will be taxable at the 60% plus surcharge at the 25% other than the sales. Okay, so these are the very few important provisions that we have already discussed. Okay, we need to remember this. चले आगे बढ़ते हैं. अभी अदर कंडीशन क्या है? नो एक्सपेंडिचर अलाउ. तो ऊपर में जितना भी हम लोग पढ़े, वॉट एवर द these three special case, हाँ, these three special case, with respect to these three special case, no expenditure will be allowed. I am repeating again, with respect to this special case, no expenditure will be allowed, neither deduction allowed, neither basic exemption limit allowed, and set off or losses is also not permitted. So these four provision is very important. What is written? No expenditure or allowances can be allowed from such income. Deduction under chapter 6 is not allowable for such from such income. Adjustment of unexhausted basic exemption limit is also not permitted against such income. Set off of losses is not permissible against such income. Okay, so these are not available with respect to the these four particular level of income. So three particular level of income. Okay, but in case of the other income, deduction allowable section 57 subject to limit mentioned thereunder, and section 58 specification to deduction not allowable. So both section 57 and section 58 both are allowed in this particular case. Okay, so ये था हम लोग का basic fundamental respect to the income from other sources. These are the basic fundamental respect to the income from other sources. Okay, it is being very much clear. These are the basic fundamental respect to the income from other sources. एक बार go through कर लीजिए, 2 मिनट का टाइम मैं देता हूँ आपको. Take your time for 2 minutes and go through it once, guys. Everyone, please go through this. थोड़ा समझ लीजिए टैक्स का रेट एक बार. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. हाँ, अब शुरू करते हैं इसको. हाँ, चलिए सबसे पहले बहुत सारा चीज हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया ऑलरेडी. We have already discussed multiple things here in this particular case. Now we are going to discuss about the method of accounting, section 145. Okay. So income chargeable under the head income from other sources has to be computed in accordance with the cash or mercantile system of accounting regularly employed by the SEC. So with respect to the accounting method employed by the SEC, that will be followed with respect to the method of accounting. So it's very simple and pleasant that the method of accounting should be the method based on the SEC, whatever the SEC directs. Okay. Now income chargeable under this head section 56 क्या है? ये सबसे अभी हम लोग सबसे पहले पढ़ेंगे सेक्शन 56. उसमें सब चीजें. Section 56 is the section in which you are going to learn everything else here. Okay, that is what the important section. So income chargeable only under that income from other sources. So एक एक करके हम लोग go through करेंगे और clear cut करेंगे. Okay, एक एक करके आराम से, कोई हड़बड़ी नहीं है और clearly go through करेंगे. देखिए सबसे पहले क्या है? dividend income. Section 56(2)(1). हाँ, the first thing is the dividend income, that is the section 56(2)(1). Dividend income is always taxable under that income from other sources. We know that. The term dividend is used in the act has a wider scope and meaning under the general law. We know that dividend is a very wide scope. Okay, dividend, you need to remember that up to 31st March 2020, up to 31st March 2020. Okay, dividend from Indian company is exempt in the hands of the shareholder. आप लोग ये चीज एक बार लिख लीजिए. ठीक है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Now we are discussing about the dividend income. Okay, we are discussing about the dividend income under section 56(2)(1). Okay, under section 56(2)(1), and please write it down. Dividend from an Indian company is exempted up to 31st March 2020. Now it will be taxable in the hands of the shareholder. It will be taxable in the hands of the shareholder right now. Earlier it will be exempted under section 1034. Okay, earlier it will be exempted under section 1034. Now it will be taxable directly. Earlier dividend from an Indian company is exempted up to 31st March 2020, section 1034. Earlier, but right now it is not there. Okay, right now it is not there. And we need to understand what is called a dividend. We need to first understand, okay, what is called a dividend. Okay, dividend, we know that dividend account, see, dividend is a very widest term. Dividend, we have very much income with respect to dividend term. See, dividend is a, like, you can say, amount paid to or received by the shareholder in proportion to his shareholding in a company out of the total sums so distributed. So any money earned by the company after distributing all the income, or after distributing the after distributing towards the expenditure, then anything left in the hands of the company can recommend the amount of dividend. Amount of dividend so remaining in the hands of the company in the favor of the shareholder. That is what the provision, that is what the connotation. Okay, that is what the provision. So provision says any income from dividend. Okay, any income from dividend means that the dividend is nothing but the amount that is distributed by the company to its shareholder if the company has a sufficient amount of profit, or maybe the from the past profit. So that is what the dividend. So now we need to first understand deemed dividend. So deemed का meaning क्या होता है वो समझना है. Okay, the first thing that we need to understand what is the meaning of the deemed. So deemed का meaning क्या है सर, ये सबसे पहले समझते हैं हम. What is the meaning of the deemed? Deemed, see, deemed is a very wide scope. If you see, the word is called deemed. Deemed means that what we are thinking, that what we have been happen. Okay, deemed means we are thinking that it will be the dividend, like that. Suppose मैंने बोल दिया कि I think deemed that Sonal will pass September exam. Okay, deemed CA intermediate pass Sonal, Deepika, Revati, Supriya, Bhumi and others. So it means I am predicting that all you are going to pass. So it is called deemed. Deemed means indicating that something is going to be happen surely. Okay, that is to be happen actually, not surely, that is to be happen actually. So according to section 222, the following receipt are deemed to be dividend. So किसको इसको deemed dividend बोल सकते हैं, मतलब what are the income is called a deemed dividend. It means it is not actual dividend, but you can say this is a deemed dividend. Okay, distribution of accumulated profit entailing the release of company's asset. Okay, एक बार go through कीजिए और एक मिनट दीजिए मुझे, एक बार go through कीजिएगा please. Okay, तो क्या है यहाँ पे, that is distribution of accumulated profit. Accumulated means what? Accumulated means the cumulative profit. It means with respect to the past year, whatever the profit has been accumulated in the hands of the company. With respect to the past year, whatever the total profit on a cumulative basis the company has, it called accumulated profit. Okay, entailing the release, entailing the release of company's asset, entailing the release of the company's asset. Okay, so any distribution of accumulated profit, whether capitalized or not, by a company to its shareholder is dividend if it is entail the release of all or any part of the asset. So they says that deemed dividend is also taxable under the head 5621. Guys need to remember why it has been made so wider. आप लोग को ये चीज समझना है. देखिए डीम्ड डिविडेंड में सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 22, इट्स नॉट अ सबसेक्शन. सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 22 सब क्लॉज ए टू ई में क्या क्या लिखा है. We need to understand section 2 clause 22 subclause A to subclause E. That is what the definition entails with respect to the deemed dividend. So what are the definition given with respect to deemed dividend? Number one, distribution of accumulated profit. Distribution of accumulated profit entailing, okay, entailing the release of company's asset. Any distribution of accumulated profits, whether capitalized or not, by a company to its shareholders is dividend if it entails the release of all or any part of the asset. If it entails the release of all or any part of his asset. Okay, that is what the number one. Number with respect to the note, if accumulated profits are distributed in cash, it is dividend in the hands of the shareholder. Okay, I'm repeating again. If accumulated profits are distributed in cash, it is dividend in the hands of the shareholders. Where accumulated profits are distributed in kind, for example by delivery of share etc., entailing the release of company's asset, the market value of such share on the date of such distribution is deemed as dividend in the hands of the shareholder. बहुत इसी तरीके से क्या लिखा देखिए, if the accumulated profits are distributed in cash, वो distribute कर दिया है, okay, in cash, it is dividend in the hands of the shareholder. ये तो पता है सर, ये बहुत सिंपल है. When companies distribute its profit in the to the shareholder, it becomes a dividend. वही तो होता है AGM में. Where accumulated profits are distributed in kind. सोचिए, if accumulated profit distributed in cash, it will be called dividend. But if it is distributed in kind, for example by delivery of shares etc., entailing the release of company's asset, the market value of such shares on the date of such distribution is deemed as dividend in the hands of the shareholder. So if the shareholder receive any delivery of share, okay, entailing the release of company's asset, suppose the shareholder receive the shares, in terms of whatever the company sell the asset, and out of which whatever the money company received, it has delivered the shares to the shareholder, then the market value of such share will be treated like a dividend, and this dividend is called deemed dividend, sir. This dividend is called deemed dividend. तो आप लोग सोचो क्या है सर, if profit given in cash, if accumulated profit given in cash, then it will be dividend, sir. But if company provide anything in kind, okay, then it will be a deemed dividend. Anything in kind, it will be a deemed dividend by delivery of share. Suppose company sell its asset, and by the money whatever it has delivered the share to the company without any cost. It has issued some extra share to the company shareholder without any cost. Okay, so it is called deemed dividend, sir. So point number one clear हो गया sir. Distribution of accumulated profit entailing the release of company's asset will be treated as a deemed dividend. Okay, now point two, distribution of debentures, deposit certificates to shareholders and bonus shares to preference shareholders. Any distribution to its shareholders by a company of debentures, debenture stock or certificate deposits in any form, whether or without interest, and any distribution of bonus share to preference shareholder to the extent to which the company processes accumulated profit, whether capitalized or not, will be deemed dividend. बहुत simple है sir. If you guys given any bonus share to pref shareholder up to the value of company's accumulated profit, then it will be treated as a deemed dividend. And any distribution to the shareholder by a company of debenture stock or deposit certificate in the any form, with or without any interest, इसको भी हम लोग क्या बोल सकते हैं सर, इसको भी हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि डिविडेंड, इसको भी हम लोग बोल सकते हैं डिविडेंड. So guys, distribution of debenture, deposit certificate to the shareholder. Okay, I am repeating again. Suppose a company distributing its own debenture or the debenture stock or the deposit certificate to its shareholder in any form, with or without any interest, then it is a deemed dividend. आपको तो कुछ पैसा नहीं देने पड़ रहा है ना. You guys not expending a single penny to get the debentures or the debenture stock or the deposit certificate. Rather you are getting it from the company, so definitely it will be a deemed dividend for the shareholder. आप लोग सोचो सिर्फ डिविडेंड कैश में ही, just you guys think that if you guys receive any dividend in cash, it is not only that particular cash, rather when you guys are going to receive anything in kind itself in the form of debenture stock or deposit certificate, it is also then said as a deemed dividend. Okay, and bonus share to pref shareholder is also a deemed dividend. ये भी बी क्रॉस क्लियर हो गया सर. कुछ नीचे दिया हुआ है देखिए, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नोट है, वो नोट को सबसे पहले फॉलो कीजिए गाइस. आप लोगों को मैंने एक बार भी नहीं बोला है गाइस, आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू इन अ सिंगल शॉर्ट ऑफ वर्ड और सेंटेंस that either the bonus share given to the shareholder is said as a dividend or not. मैंने कभी बोला है आप लोगों को? नहीं ना, एक भी सिंगल वर्ड मैंने यूज नहीं किया है. I have not used a single word or any sentence that any bonus shares given to the equity shareholder are not treated as a dividend. Clear ekdam? Okay. So remember guys, always bonus to pref shareholder is a deemed dividend. Okay. Distribution of debentures, debenture stocks or deposit certificate of the company to the shareholder become a deemed dividend. So these are comes under the clause, subclause B. Subclause B. Up subclause C. Now company goes on liquidation. Now company goes on to liquidation. If company goes on to liquidation, then what happens, sir? Any distribution made to the shareholder of a company one minute. चलिए, तो मैं क्या बोल रहा था बस, हाँ, आई एम टेलिंग यू अबाउट द लिक्विडेशन पार्ट. ओके, सो सपोज गाइस, आप लोग सोचिए, any distribution made to the shareholder of a company on its liquidation. So company goes on to liquidation, means company is shutting down its business. To the extent to which the distribution is attributable to the accumulated profit of the company immediately before its liquidation, whether capitalized or not, is deemed to be the dividend income. So any distribution made to the shareholder of a company on its liquidation, to the extent to which the distribution is attributable to the accumulated profits of the company immediately before its liquidation, whether capitalized or not, is deemed to be the dividend income. ठीक है, बहुत easy है sir. So any distribution made on only part of the liquidation, any distribution only made on the part of the liquidation, okay, to the extent to which distribution is attributable to the accumulated profit of the company immediately before its liquidation. So liquidation के पहले whatever the amount, see guys, just need to remember, suppose company is having a accumulated profit of 200 lakhs, it means 2 cr before its liquidation. Company is having a accumulated profit of 2 cr before its liquidation. So when when company before its liquidation, whatever the accumulated profit it has, and if it distribute those 2 cr rupees to its shareholder, if the company distribute those 2 cr rupees to its shareholder, then you can say that this is nothing but the deemed dividend in the hands of the shareholder. Okay, this becomes a deemed dividend in the hands of the shareholder. So guys, we can remember this in a note. Any distribution made out of the profit of the company after the date of liquidation cannot amount to dividend. It is a repayment towards capital. तो आप लोग एक चीज सोचिए, any distribution made out of the profit. Suppose आप लोग, you guys need to just focus on that part. Any dividend, sorry, any amount given to the shareholder out of the available profit before liquidation will be deemed dividend, but any distribution of the profit after liquidation, so liquidation होने के बाद, suppose company is having some profit, company has made some profit after the date of liquidation, then it will be not treated as a dividend, it is repayment towards the capital, it is repayment towards the capital. Clear guys? एक बार go through कीजिए इसको, बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है ये. एक बार गो थ्रू कर लीजिए इसको अच्छी तरह से, दिस पॉइंट, ओके। द पॉइंट इज वेरीफाइड एज पॉइंट में सब क्लॉज सी, सब क्लॉज सी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ओके। एक चीज जस्ट वी नीड टू रिमेंबर, ओके, any profit given to the shareholder after the liquidation, I am repeating again, any profit given to the shareholder after liquidation, so any profit after the, suppose लिक्विडेशन डेट हैपन, चलिए एक एग्जांपल देता हूं इसका, एक क्लियर हो जाएगा। देखिए एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं, हाँ एक एग्जांपल लेने से ये क्लियर हो जाएगा। देखिए मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं, deemed dividend under section 2 subclause 22, sorry clause 22 subclause C. Suppose accumulated profit we have 2 CR, huh? Date of liquidation is 1/4/23, okay, date of liquidation is 1/4/23, guys write down please. डेट ऑफ लिक्विडेशन इज 1/4/23 नाउ, ठीक है। अच्छा, प्रॉफिट बिटवीन 02/04/23 up to 30/9/23 is 1 lakh rupees. So profit between 24/23 to 39/23 is 1 lakh rupees, ठीक है। So guys just try to understand. Now if I am going to tell you that what is called a deemed dividend, so profit of rupees 2 CR distributed to the shareholder is a deemed dividend, perfect. But profit of rupees 1 lakh distributed to the shareholder is not a deemed dividend. It's not a deemed dividend, guys. It is not a deemed. It is a repayment towards capital. Because sir liquidation हो चुका है, guys. Liquidation has already been done. Liquidation has already been completed. So anything payment made, profit between the after the date, it's called the repayment of capital. Okay, repayment of the capital you can say easily. It's nothing but the repayment of capital. तो ये था provision. This provision that you wanted to discuss. Okay, ये provision लिख लीजिए एक बार. 222C को लिख लीजिए. ओके, नाउ चलिए मूव करते हैं। हाँ, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑन रिडक्शन ऑफ कैपिटल। ओके, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑन reduction of capital. Any distribution to its shareholder by a company on the reduction of its capital to the extent to which the company possesses accumulated profit, whether capitalization or not, shall be deemed to be the dividend. It means any amount which is distributed towards the shareholder by the company on the reduction of its capital to the extent to which the company possesses accumulated profit. So guys, it means when company is having any accumulated profit and on the basis of such accumulated profit, if the company reduces the shareholders capital, if the company reduces the shareholders capital and basis on which with respect to the accumulated profit it has distributed the shareholder, the amount of the accumulated profit because of the reduction of capital. Okay, so because of the reduction of capital समझते हैं ना आप लोग, कैपिटल का वैल्यू रिड्यूस करना मींस 10 rupees face value shares comes down to rupees 5. For reduction of such capital value, the company gives some amount or distributes some amount with respect to the company's accumulated profit to the shareholder. Kuch, you just think, to get something you have to sacrifice something like that. So to reduce the capital, you have to give in some amount from your profit to the shareholder. It is called deemed dividend. It is called deemed dividend. So guys, clear? So if you want to reduce your share capital, then you can give the any profit out of your accumulated profit to the shareholder. Then it is called deemed dividend. Then it is called deemed dividend. Then it is called deemed dividend. Sir. Clear एकदम. अच्छा. Advance or loan by a closely held company to its shareholder. Advance or loan by a closely held company to its shareholder. Any payment by a company in which the public are not substantially interested of any sum by way of advance or loan to any shareholder who is the beneficial owner of 10% or more of the equity capital of the company will be deemed to be the dividend to the extent of the accumulated profit. If the loan is not covered by the accumulated profit, if it is not deemed to be dividend. अच्छा, ये थोड़ा बड़ा प्रोविजन है और ये बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझना है. ओके, दैट इज अ डिफिकल्ट प्रोविजन एंड वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वेरी क्लियरली. Now what it says, payment by way of loan. Okay, advance, payment by way of loan or advance to the extent of accumulated profit by a closely held company is treated as dividend in the following cases. Okay, we need to understand. Now see, I am repeating again. It is given clearly that any payment by a company in which the public is not substantially interested of any sum by way of advance or loan to any shareholder. आपने किसको दिया है? shareholder को. Any payment by company, suppose a closely held company, I am repeating again, suppose a closely held company, it means the company in which publics are not substantially interested. I am repeating again, closely held companies are those companies where publics are not substantially interested or any sum by way of advance or loan to any shareholders who is the beneficial owner of that particular company with respect to 10% or more of the equity capital will be deemed to be the dividend to the extent of the accumulated profits. If the loan is not covered by the accumulated profit, it is not deemed to be the dividend. It is not deemed to be the dividend. So guys, we need to remember. So whatever the company's profit is available to the company's hand, and with respect to which, okay, with respect to which the advance is given to the shareholder. The advance is given to the shareholder based on the accumulated profit of that particular person. तो मैंने आपको क्या बोला? Suppose shareholder is having, you have given some amount to the shareholder, okay, with respect to way of advance, who is actually holding 10% or more in your company. Suppose your company is a closely held company and you have given some money. So in that case, if the loan is not covered by the accumulated profit, then it is not deemed to be the dividend. So guys, loan should have to be covered by the accumulated profit. I am repeating again, loan has to be covered by the accumulated profit once. Okay, that is what the basic fundamental provision. So इसको हम लोग थोड़ा इलेबोरेट करेंगे और केस वाइज समझेंगे तो क्लियर हो जाएगा ये चीज. ठीक है, we are going to understand this. चलिए, देखिए क्या लिखा है. मैं आपको एक बार शॉर्ट नोट लिखा दो इसका, ये आप लोग लिख लीजिए एक बार. ठीक है, प्लीज गाइस आप लोग एक बार शॉर्ट नोट लिखिए इसका. एवरीवन प्लीज लिखिए डीम डिविडेंड, इसका शॉर्ट नोट लिखिए, इजी होगा. डीम डिविडेंड अंडर सेक्शन 222E, ये वाला जो प्रोविजन है ना गाइस डिविडेंड का, आपको याद रखना है, दिस प्रोविजन इज रिलेटेड टू एनी एडवांस गिवन टू शेयर होल्डर who is a beneficial owner. It means who has a purchase in our company of 10% or more capital in our company, and our company is a closely held company in which public are not interested to at all. So with respect to the accumulated profit, whatever we have given with respect to the advance only to the extent of the accumulated profit that shareholder has. Then it will be treated as a deemed dividend. If the advance is not covered with the accumulated profit, then it will be a not a deemed dividend. Okay, ये था provision. So चलिए इसको लिख लीजिए. Payment, लिखिए payment by way of loan or advance to the extent of accumulated profit by a closely held company is treated as dividend in the following two cases. Okay, number one, number two. लिखिए एक बार नंबर वन, लोन और एडवांस given by a closely held company. Closely held company means a company in which publics are not substantially interested. Okay, such loan is given to a shareholder. Okay, such loan is given to a shareholder. Third, the shareholder getting the loan beneficially holds 10% or more of equity share in that company. Okay, it means closely held company में. That company means closely held company में. ठीक है, the shareholder getting the loan beneficially hold 10% or more of equity share in that particular company. ठीक है, कोई डाउट है इसमें? सो इसको थोड़ा इलेबोरेट करते, देखिए इस चीज को यहाँ पे इलेबोरेट करेगा और कुछ नहीं है. लोन और एडवांसेस is given by a closely held company, say X Limited. Okay, number two, such loan is given to HUF, okay, sole proprietor, firm, AOP, BOI, or a company. Okay, remember this. Okay, let's say you can also say individual. Individual तो हो ही होगा. HUF sole proprietor means individual, firm, AOP, etc. सब कुछ ठीक है. Number third, one of the shareholders, please write, one of the shareholder holds 10% 10% or more, okay, 10% or more, लिखिए ये चीज लिखिए, one of the shareholder holds 10% or more, one of the shareholder holds 10% or more. One of the shareholder holds 10% or more. One of the shareholder holds 10% or more. लिखिए 10% or more. ये केस 1 केस 2 है. Equity share 10% or more equity shares. Capital in such closely held company. It means X Limited. यहाँ पे closely held company कौन है? X Limited है. तो in X Limited one of the shareholder is holding 10% or more. Okay, equity share capital, and most important, has a substantial interest. Such individuals should have to have some substantial interest on that particular organization. So this particular shareholder is having some substantial interest, okay, has a substantial interest, okay, in that particular company. It means you can write have a substantial interest in Y. You can write here, okay. Here you can write like a in Y. You can write here such loan is given to Y. You can write here Y. Okay, you can write here Y, huh? You can write here Y. So this point number 2, the person is called Y. You can say person is called a Y. Okay, you can write here Y. Okay, the person you can say is a Y. Okay, you can write here. Okay, you can write here Y. The person you can say you can write here Y. Okay, you can write here Y as a person. Equity share capital in X Limited has a substantial interest in Y. I am repeating again. Equity share capital in X Limited has a substantial interest in the Y. Has a substantial interest in the substantial interest means that 20% or more voting power in that particular company. It means 20% or more voting power in that particular company. Okay, guys, एक चीज आपको समझना है. The company, in the company, the shareholder is having substantial interest in the company. Okay, sorry, having 10% or more equity capital in the company. And if you can write here, if the Y is a company, if the X Limited is holding any equity share in the Y, then सपोज इफ Y इज ए कंपनी, मैं आपको क्या बोलना चाहिए समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. यहाँ पे बहुत थोड़ा क्रिटिकल है. यहाँ पे if X Limited is a company, okay, we understand X Limited is a company. Now if X Limited is a company, then you can say any loan or advance is given by a closely held company to any HUF, sole proprietor, firm, AOP, BY or a company, then you can say that the Y should have a 10% equity investment in X Limited. But if Y is a company, then also X Limited has also invested 20% in Y. Then it is called closely held company. दोनों के बीच में बहुत रिलेशन है. Number one, Y has an investment of 10% or more in equity share capital in X Limited, as well as X Limited is having a 20% or more investment in the Y, okay, in the equity share. Then it is called substantial interest. If both is having this kind of relationship, then it is called closely held company mainly. Okay, got it. अच्छा, अब क्या देखिए, ये तो हो गया. अच्छा, last part is that you can write here. Such loan or advance is treated as dividend in the hands of shareholders. Such loan or advance is treated as dividend in the hands of the shareholder. Such loan or advance is treated as dividend in the hands of the shareholder. Perfect. That is what we have done. Such loan or advance is treated as dividend in the hands of the shareholder. Okay. And right now, guys, here you can write such loan such loan or advance is treated as dividend in the hands of Y. So that is what we have done. Complete है सर, कोई problem नहीं है as such, it's completed सर. ठीक है. Okay, that is what we have done. Okay, these are basic fundamental in terms of the dividend. That is very much clear, sir. Okay. अच्छा, तो यहाँ तक आज का डिस्कशन यहाँ तक रखते हैं guys. So we are going to discuss this much in the next class. Till that, I am requesting everyone to please go through the deemed dividend, what is income from other sources, and how the tax will be charged on this. Normally, we are going to move to the next part in the Friday itself. Okay, Friday और भी discussion करेंगे इसमें. ठीक है. चलिए guys, thanks a lot for being in the class. Thank you.